Shalom, shalom to Brother Kadash.
Shalom to Brother Quanah.
We're going to start off by giving our praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Peace, blessings, and honors to all the brothers in the truth. This camp is going to be called Righteous Judgment. You know, sometimes you got to go to the basics. Sometimes you just got to teach the law. You know, the law is a big part of this, just teaching it, you know. Because a lot of the deep breakdowns, you know, coming into this, people not going to understand really the deep breakdowns all the time. So a lot of times you just got to start off with the law, just teaching them things about the law. Because everybody kind of has like this dark feeling about the law before they come into the truth, because they don't want correction. They don't want to follow no order. But when they start to learn the law, then they start to learn to love the law, because they start to understand that the law actually gives you structure. It gives you direction in your life. It just makes you more smarter. Us keeping the law ain't benefiting the Lord. The Lord loves us. Us keeping the laws for us, to keep us holy, to benefit us, to make us better. You see what I'm saying? So people like to get into all these different philosophies of the world. You got to eat sea moss, all that dumb shit, man. But in reality, all you got to do is follow the law. The Lord already wrote the blueprint for us. You know what I mean? When it comes to the law. And now that brings us to the other part of it, righteous judgment. That's what this camp is about, righteous judgment. You know, you got to have righteous judgment when you dealing with brothers. That's why you see all over, really, America, really all over the world, what is Israel doing? We beefing with each other, hating out, because we don't know righteous judgment. A brother do something to somebody, he don't know that he got to make that right. Or he don't even know how to make that right. So now he offends somebody, and now they in odds. They dealing with women, they don't even know how you supposed to deal with women or deal with each other women. They don't have righteous judgment, you know, and that's one of the things that Esau takes advantage of to keep us in captivity. You know, if he keep us going off and sinning against the Lord, then he's able to keep us in captivity and overcome us. That's why Esau teaches everything contrary to the law, because he don't want us to follow the law. Why? Because he wants to make sure that we stay his slaves. It's divide and conquer. You know, and a lot of women, let's just one little part of it is the multiple wives. We talk about that because that's the power structure. You got to think about it. One man, if he got 7 women, that's 7 families connected right there. Imagine the power of that. It ain't just about the man and the woman. It's the families connected. He's a husband of 7 of them. How much power do that one man got? He got 7 families, 7 grandmas, 7 grandpas, 7 sets of aunties, uncles, and cousins. Imagine a reunion. Imagine how big a reunion is. Everybody interconnected, because then the grandpas of those, they got multiple wives. So imagine they all come together, they all bring their wives to their family. It's basically like all Israel coming together. That's a power structure. Esau took advantage of that. I mean, you got to think about it. Why would Esau make it illegal to have multiple wives on paper here in America? That's because obviously it's something that's against his agenda. That's why he made it illegal, because it's going to hurt his agenda. To this day, that's still a law. They not going to let up on that law or change that law. Why? Because we get too much power, man. All the women like Jake anyways. So if it was just the norm here in America for us to have multiple wives, we have too much power. That's in the law. But Esau's always able to deceive, especially Eve, based off her feelings. Esau taps into her feelings, and he's able to deceive her based off her feelings. So he make her feel some type of way. They follow Esau's philosophy, and now they got these feelings. Oh, I wasn't raised like that. No, I gotta have you to myself. Well, why do you gotta have me to yourself? Because you go back to the law, you're not supposed to envy your neighbor. You're not supposed to. So that goes with the woman too. You're not supposed to envy another woman just because she's with me too. You're not supposed to hate her. Oh, well, if she with you, then I'm gonna make her life a living hell. That's hatred. That's holding a grudge. So if you really following the law, you won't have no hatred or hold no grudge. And you're supposed to be in subjection to your husband. So if your husband want another woman, you got to be in subjection to that. But Esau always finds a way to play with our feelings to get us to go against the law and the Lord. But in reality, he really setting us up, because now the Lord ain't going to be with us because he's going against him. That's why I say you always, in everything you do, you always have to consider the Lord. There's a bigger picture here, you know? It ain't just about you and whatever little situation you're getting into. You got to always consider the Lord. You got to put the Lord in the situation. Okay, how would the Lord do? How would the Lord think about it if I do it this way? Whatever you do, even the smallest things, you can't just think, oh, I'm just doing this because I want to do it. You got to look at the Lord's always watching you. So you got to put the Lord into play, and that's where this righteous judgment come from. That's where this righteous judgment. That's why we're gonna break down not all of it, because if we was breaking down, if we was breaking down the whole thing, then we'd be out here for 7 days straight, or 6 days straight, and we have to rest on the Sabbath day, on the 7th day. But you can still do the work on the 7th day. Just a quick little joke. But the thing is, like, we just gonna get a little bit and touch on some of the examples of righteous judgment that people didn't even know was righteous, because the laws is different than what Esau taught you was righteous. What Esau taught you was right. The laws is different than that.
Proverbs 6, verse 1. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. Then thou art come into the hand of thy friend. Go humble thyself and make sure thy friend.
So do this and deliver yourself. We all want to be delivered, right? So listen.
Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which have no guide, overseer, or ruler. Provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
Alright, go to verse 16.
Verse 16. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate.
So these 6 things does the Lord hate, man. So you got to pay attention to this when it says something like that, man. This teaching you how to walk, how to move. You know how people be like, oh, like a girl, like a dude. He be like, he had a certain vibe about him, or I liked his style. It was a slick word they used to use. I forgot about it, like or. But back in the day, it's a slick
persona
word.
Or something like that.
Yeah, like I like his persona or something like that. This is the persona we gotta have, man. This is gonna teach us how to walk, how to be men. Keep going.
Proverbs 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
See, they glorify that today. Think about your NBA young boy, the whole thing, Lil Durk. They got proud looks when you see them. The Lord said he hate that, man. We got to be humble. Because what's going to happen if you got a proud look? You're going to see another brother that's going to cause contention. You can walk down the street having a proud look. Another brother going to see you and look, this nigga think he the shit. Then that's cause contention. We ain't supposed to have those proud looks. That's why we got an evil eye towards each other. Because everybody walking around with a proud look ain't got nothing to really be proud about, because you in captivity under Esau, the same people that conquer us. I don't care how much money your favorite athlete, your favorite entertainer had, all that money got Esau face on it. The same man that conquered him, his face is on their money. You see what I'm saying? So you got walking around with a proud look. No, we got to be more humble. When you see a brother, you got to, shalom, brother, be humble. Hey, you good? Need anything? Hey, you trying to chop it up? You know what I mean? Yeah. Respectful. Not all proud and shit. I'm the shit, nigga, get out the way. And read that verse again.
Verse 17. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
These niggas be lying a lot. And then they glorify hands that shed innocent blood. Look at all your rappers. I do this, I do that, I'm gonna catch him lacking, I'm gonna spin the block. You shedding innocent blood, man, because a lot of times when they doing that, they killing babies, they killing women. I mean, we done heard about so many examples of women getting killed in our city, just our little city, because somebody else was targeted, they was with them. That happens, and then they glorify it. Keep going.
Verse 18, a heart that deceiveth wicked imaginations. Deviseth wicked imagination.
I'm gonna do this. Plotting. They plot to set you up. I'm gonna rob them. I'm gonna set them up. That's wickedness. You a guy in your heart. They have in their heart for months and years of a way to try to set you up and rob you. That's complete wickedness, man.
Feet that be swift and run into mischief.
Always running into the beef. Ain't got nothing to do with you, but you always dare to run up and get into it.
Yeah, trying to be in the crowd.
Trying to be in it, trying to pop it off because you want people to like you or a certain gang to accept you. Keep going.
Verse 19, a false witness that speaketh lies.
That's a big thing. You can't be a false witness, man. If it's a situation that happens, you got to tell it how it is, man. I had that happen to me when I was younger. I had 2 friends. Me and one of the friends got into it. We went to the other friend to try to get him to settle it, so we wouldn't take it no farther. And the dude he didn't want to tell the truth. The truth was right in front of him, but he wanted to play sides. And he wanted not play sides, but he wanted to kind of be neutral. Man, you got to tell it what it is. Now, in some situations, it might be neutral. It might be a little, y'all both right. Y'all both right, y'all both wrong. Y'all just coming at two different angles.
Right.
Some situations it be like that. But some situations it be clear, man. Don't be no goddamn false witness. And don't be bringing up no false accounts on brothers. Like, you running, that's gospel shit. That shit happened amongst brothers in Israel that call themselves Israelites. Gospeling and shit, man. Bringing up false accounts, adding shit to kind of tarnish a brother name because they want to get higher than that brother. Or they don't want that brother to get higher than them amongst the brothers. Man, all that shit's vain, man. The only thing we all here to do is try to get in good graces with Yahweh Shai, man, and be saved.
Verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandments and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bend them continually upon thy heart and tie them about thy neck.
Okay, so your father's commandments is going to be what he tells you to do. You know, when you growing up, you got to follow your father. Now, if he a righteous man, then his commandments going to be the same thing as the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what he's going to teach you. You know, and, you know, of course you got to honor your mother. That's a part of the law. You know.
Verse 22. When thou goest out, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee.
Yeah, and we honor our parents, but now it's a different dynamic today because a lot of our parents are wicked. Then that's when you get to Matthew's, damn, I want to say chapter 10. Let me find it. So we just create space between them. Break that down. We just create space. When we honor our parents, but when they wicked, then we just got to create that space. But Yahweh Shai said something very important.
Yeah, we honor our parents off the strength that we know they position towards us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just off us knowing that that's our mother and that's our father. You know what I'm saying? We was brought into this world through them. We honor them. But that don't mean we have to agree with everything they say.
Right.
Or like agree with the ways that they believe in and stuff like that. You know, if it's not the ways of the Lord, then it's not right.
Right. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and brothers stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brothers stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whoever so should do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Those who do the will of the Father. You know, because a lot of times our parents is wicked. And if they wicked against the Lord, then I don't care how much you get in your feelings, they just not going to make it. Nobody's going to make it. And we don't, yeah, he ran that. He shouldn't have did that. But and we don't feel no certain type of way about it because the Lord already warned us. But we worship the Creator over the creation. So we understand that our mother, brother, or sister, that's just a creation of the Lord. Yeah. We put the Lord first, even before them. We worship the Creator first.
And you got to think, a lot of our parents, our mothers, our fathers, they still celebrating the holidays. They still eat shrimp, pork, catfish, lobster, crab.
And we didn't try to warn them so many times. So when the Lord do something to them, then we already knew it was going to happen. You know? So who's my mother, who's my brother, who's my sister? Those who do the will of my Father in heaven.
Verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Yeah, go to Deuteronomy. That's the way of life. You know, instruction. The instruction is, it breaks down to the law, statutes, and commandments. And then you got wise counsel that's able to break down those law, statutes, and commandments. You know, we got wise counsel, elders, and stuff that we look to, but we're wise counsel. That's what we all here doing, wise counseling. We constantly, whoever want to hear, whoever got ears to hear, you know, the truth and breaking down the law, statutes, and commandments. And right now, it's righteous judgment. How to have righteous judgment, man. How to deal with each other. Just going into the laws, breaking it down. You can do camps down there every week on breaking down the law because there's so much in it. Breaking down the law. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. You got that? Yep. On the top.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 1. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother.
You gotta take care of your brother, man. This is what we not do. If like today, that's equivalent to like a brother's money or something, and then sitting around or something happening to a brother's livelihood. Another brother ain't gonna help you. He gonna steal your shit.
might drop some money out your pocket, you ain't even know he's seeing it, don't speak on it, be like, oh, hey, you just dropped $100, but no, you go behind you, pick it up, put it in his pocket.
Put it in his pocket. If not, if you bring him to your house, you steal shit out your house, that's, see, we ain't got that love, but the law's breaking it down. This is how you build. This is how you come together. People always talk about we need to come together. Now, how are we going to come together? This is how we come together. Keep going.
Verse 22, and if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again.
That's how you do it. Hey, I got your shit. Hey, lost and found, man. Hey, you lost this, I found it. I got your shit, brother. It's over here. It's all in good grace. I'm not trying to come up off of it, bro. Now, he might, out of good courtesy, okay, let me give you a couple dollars. Or let me give you something for doing that. But you ain't even doing that for that reason. You just like, I got your shit. Come get it all. No charge, nothing. You know, because that's how we supposed to take care of each other, man. That's that brotherly love.
Verse 23, in like manner shalt thou do with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his remnant, and with all lost things of thy brothers which he hath lost, and thou hast found, shalt thou do likewise, thou mayest not hide thyself.
That's righteous judgment, because you had to make a judgment at some time of what you was going to do. Judgment, a decision. You know, you had to make a decision. I'm going to keep this shit, or I'm going to sell this shit, or I'm going to give it back to him. You made the right decision. You know, a lot of brothers in that situation, man, hell no. He lost it, I found it. Another man trash.
Finders keepers.
Finders keepers. That's what motherfuckers say. Hey, it's finders keepers, man. I just came up. The Lord wanted me to have this. No, man. You got to have righteous judgment. You got to make the right decision when you get in certain situations. So we're giving you some of the insight of how to make righteous decisions, man. That builds trust. Brother know, like, man, yeah, he ain't going. I'll leave $100,000 around here. He ain't going to touch it.
Right.
That builds trust, man. You got to have that when we dealing with each other.
Verse 25, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Okay, so let's break that down. You see Lil Uzi, you see your young thugs putting on dresses, man. You see your Kid Cuddies putting on dresses, man. You're not supposed to be doing that, man. That's why we clown them every single time. You're not supposed to be putting on woman clothing, and then women not supposed to be putting on man clothing. You see these studs out here? These studs, they come looking like you.
Yeah, they go to the store and they go to the men's section.
They go to the men, they got all the men stuff on, man. They really supposed to be wearing dresses with fringes. That's hard to do today for a woman. You know, it's hard for women to only wear dresses and fringes and just pretty much dresses. That's hard to do, you know. That's why we're waiting for the Lord. Look, we're not going to be perfect when the Lord comes back. The Lord is coming back to make us perfect. You know, but you try to, okay, babe, get you some dresses, though. Mix it up. You know, you wear leggings when you at home. If you run to the store, you might throw some jeans on. But try to start edging your way towards that. You know, working your way. Get you some dresses, babe. Wear some dresses out sometime. I think women look better in dresses anyways than all this slutty shit that's going around. I think they look way better in dresses. I don't want you to see everything that belongs to me when I go out, motherfuckers seeing her butt crack, all this and that. That's for me to see. Put a dress on. A dress make you turn the head. I know if I go through a mall, you see all the women with leggings on, you think a certain way about them, but it's different when you see a little beautiful woman with a beautiful dress on. You be like, ooh, she got the cold. You know, them Asians, the Asian women, Moabites, they be having them dresses on. And you will see them in the mall walking with a dress on, you go, ooh, she cold. Because that make you wonder what's underneath. That make you look harder. Ooh, she got some points underneath that dress. Yeah, man, you know, just start edging your way towards it.
Verse 26, if a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way, in any tree, or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young, or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young. But thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days.
That's what this really about. Making righteous judgment so you can prolong your days, man. What verse you on?
I'm on verse 8 now. Alright, but I'm just saying when I read it out, I said verse 26. So.
Jump to verse 12. so we can get straight to more of the meat in it. More point. But verse 11, even with the garments with diverse sorts and woolen and linen together, really your garment's supposed to be one material. But you know, we ain't got the power. We don't make the garments. We don't make this and make that. We try the best that we can. So you always gonna see brothers with diverse materials in their garments and on their different clothes. That's why we need the Lord to come back to give us that power. You know, but at the end of the day, verse 12. Just breaking down 11 so don't nobody think, oh, he skipped over 11. He skipped over 11. No, bro, we not ducking no smoke. We ain't skipping over nothing. We just trying to get to the meat. We understand. It's just like with, okay, let me give you an example to prove what I'm saying. Since brothers be on that bullshit. Right. Oh, he skipped verse 11. He ducked. No, bro, it's just like dealing with a woman. Any woman you get today, she's not a virgin. So technically that is adultery. But you could go ahead and get with her, bro. That's what we need Yahweh Shai to come back for. You could take her because she's being reborn again when you come into the truth. As long as she ain't got no man, then you can take her to be a wife, even though she's not a virgin. Because really, the man that took her virginity is supposed to be her husband for her whole life. But it don't happen that way today because we're in captivity. So what you think? No, we ain't supposed to mate. We ain't supposed. If it was that case, then nobody. It would be no kids. It wouldn't be no Israel because it would be no mating. We all got to find virgins. You know, which is the right way to do it. But like I said, we in captivity. So going back to Judges chapter 5, we rehearsing the righteous acts. We can't keep the righteous acts perfectly. We're rehearsing it to our best of our abilities. Of course, we're going to deal with women. But now we just trying to make sure, okay, we make sure she ain't got no man. We don't want to commit adultery. Right. You see what I'm saying? But even if she's not a virgin. But now, that's what Yahweh Shai, you got to understand what Yahweh Shai is coming back for. We're just rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of our abilities to prove our faith by works. To show our faith by our works. That's James chapter 2. Yahweh Shai is the key, man, to everything. He's the one that's going to come back and make us perfect. He's the one that's going to come back and give us the full scope of everything. He's the missing key, man. That's why it says in Jeremiah 31, starting at verse 31, Hebrews 8, starting at verse 8, that we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments in our inwards parts. We got to wait till he comes back to do that for us to keep the law perfect, man. That's why it tells you, 1 Corinthians 15, we're going to have incorruptible, indestructible, immortal bodies. He's going to give us those bodies. We ain't got it yet. You see what I'm saying? So no, we're not breaking down this law to say you have to keep this perfect or die. We're not saying that. We're saying that you have to try your best to keep this. Rehearse the righteous acts. And you're going to fail. Every single one of us going to fail. None of us perfect. But the difference is, what happens when you fail? Do you give up and say, fuck it? Or do you keep trying? Do you repent? When we fail, we go to the Lord, we repent to the Lord about it. And then we start trying to do things to help us better keep that law. That's how it works, man.
Yeah, because you got grace.
Yeah.
But it's just up to you if, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to get that grace put upon you.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do something and they think that what they done is too serious for them to come back from, and then they turn themselves away from grace.
Yep. You got grace, man. He said it perfect. That's what it breaks down to. You got grace.
Yeah.
But if you just sinning against the Lord and not caring and not repenting, you got grace to repent. If you using your grace but you're not repenting, then the Lord going to judge you. He can judge you at any time. You got grace to repent.
Deuteronomy 22:12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith wherewith thou coverest thyself.
You gotta have the fringes, man. Hold on. I gotta speak on that. I gotta write something down, man. Sometimes you gotta write something down. Things come to head, man. Let me look up one. Precept. Read that one again.
Verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
You gotta have fringes, right? Now let's break that down, man. Cause niggas be wildin', bro. Even when it comes to that, I could see you coming out the grocery store at 3 in the morning and say, where your fringes at? Now, did it say you gotta wear fringes every single thing you do? We wear fringes. We come out of the camp, we got our garment on with our fringes. We keep that law. Do it say that when you get in the shower, you gotta have waterproof fringes on? When you go swimming, you gotta have a garment on when you swimming with the fringes on it.
Don't get caught up in being over righteous.
Man, you see what I'm saying? So I can see you coming out the store randomly, and you will say shalom to me. You say, well, shalom, where your fringes at? Spiritually, I got my fringes on. This fringes, and it's gonna tell you what the fringes is for. I got this precept, right? But I'll say I gotta wear my fringes. But then, okay, and then I ask him, I say, where does it say in the law to wear your fringes every single second of the day? Where does it say that? Where does it say? It don't say that, man. It say wear fringes on your garment. We do. This is Numbers 15:38. Speaking to the children of Israel and bid them that they make the fringes in the border of their garments. So we made fringes in the border of our garments, right? Throughout their generations, and they put upon the fringe a border of blue, a ribbon of blue, which we did. We got a ribbon of blue, we got the fringes. So they come up asking, what is these garments? Well, the true Israelites will be wearing garments with fringes on it with the border of blue. They don't do that. Your pastor and your teachers in church, they don't do that. They wear suits. They following after Esau, man. It says, and it's churches that know they Hebrew Israelites and teach that we're the Hebrew Israelites, and they don't wear fringes and garments. They wear suits and shit. But they really do it because they don't want to be affiliated with us. But they don't really understand that their hatred against us, and they think that we're so evil and they don't want to be affiliated with us. That's the same way they really feel that way about the Lord. It says, and it shall be unto you for a fringe that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments. So how the fuck you're following a group and they only wear suits, they don't never wear no garments, no fringes at any point in time, and then you say that they the man of the Lord? Well, why don't they have fringes to look upon it and remember the commandments? Why don't they do that? You know, it's just a lot of shit to go on in Israel. It says, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart or your own eyes, after which ye use to go whoring. That's what the fringes is for, man. And no, you ain't gotta wear them. You're not gonna wear them everywhere you go. You're not gonna be in jail making fringes, man. You might, shit. If the spirit come upon you, get the busting selling fringes down in the jail and ordering ribbons of blue, but you're not gonna be swimming in a swimming pool, you on the beach and you got a garment on with fringes on. You're not gonna be in a shower with waterproof fringes, man. You're not gonna be having a fun time with your woman and y'all both got your fringes on, you know. Hey, baby, let me, hey, baby, we gotta keep our fringes on. Let me move my fringes out the way so I can get it. You think King Solomon with 1,000 of his wives, he was popping all the, he had the fringes on, no, they got naked. So that means they took the fringes off for something. I mean, my road, though, they got naked. So what does that mean? That means they took the fringes off at some point in time. You take the fringes off, bro. You're not gonna go sleep in the bed and, you know, some ox got, they comforter set got a ribbon of blue around the whole thing with fringes on it. And then they go to sleep with their nightgown on. They got a nightgown with fringes and border blue on it. The fringes is so you can look down and remember the law, statutes, and commandments and to keep them. Beware of garment or fringes, not all the time. I just seen an ox at the plantation, bro, at work. I just seen an ox at work. He had fringes on at work. Esau in there looking at them all weird. They all plotting on him. You got to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, man.
Yeah, because now you bringing like strife into yourself. You're bringing problems to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tension.
Yeah.
And you at work, just trying to make a buck and go back home and do the work of the Lord, you know? Yeah, I have fringes on at work. Keep going.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
That's deep. Hey, you know, we supposed to love our wives, man. We supposed to be one with our wives at the end of the day. We want them to be righteous. You know, her actions gonna speak for herself. You know, her actions, if she wicked, then everybody gonna know it because her actions gonna speak. They gonna see it on your face because you're gonna have gray hairs. You're gonna be going through a lot. If you look happy, you come around, they gonna be like, oh yeah, your wife doing what she's supposed to be doing at home. Look, you glowing, bro. You happy and shit. You know what I mean? They gonna know.
Verse 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of thy daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought her an evil name upon a virgin of Israel.
It is just showing you how to do it, which we have to have our shit set up to be able to do it that way. You ain't gonna be able to do it that way today. That's why we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then shall both of them die.
And now today we're free from the death part of the law. We ain't putting nobody to death, but this is sin though, and it's wicked. The Lord gonna put you to death if you keep doing it.
Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
That's adultery. That's what adultery is. A woman that's married or betrothed to a man laying with another man. Or the man that lays with another man's wife. Or a woman that's betrothed to him. That's adultery. Not a man laying with a single woman. That's not adultery. Not a man laying with two different single women. That's not adultery. It's if a woman is in a marriage with a man and then she goes lay with another man, that's adultery. And the man that lays with her, that's adultery because he's laying with another man's wife. That's what adultery is. And betrothed. Because a lot of times a brother will be like, look, I'm set up, I ain't popped this woman yet, she ain't officially my wife, but we dealing with each other and she's about to come be my wife. And then you try to undercut her and go take it. That's still adultery because she's betrothed to him. If they already got plans, I'm not saying like if they courtshiping each other, but if they already got plans like, yeah, you finna be my wife. And she like, look, yeah, you gonna be my husband. All we gotta do is finish it and go and let me pop it, and then you gonna be my wife. I'm not talking about he just said hi to her, he said I like her, and then you try to undercut. Sometimes that happens. She might be feeling this guy, things might come to where this guy might get her. I'm not saying at that stage. I'm saying when you more like girlfriend, boyfriend already, but you just ain't popped her. Yeah. Right. Then you can't try to swoop in like that. Bro been taking this girl on dates. He been all out of town with her. He done brung her around the family. And now you come, you ain't popped her yet? And then you try to go pop her. That's still adultery because she betrothed to him like that.
Verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
They will have been put to death, man.
The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you.
That's evil and that's adultery. Humbling your neighbor's wife. She already belonged to a man. You know what I mean? And you see that today with Jake. That's big with Jake. And it ain't just the Negroes. It ain't just Judah. Shit, them Latinos be doing that shit at an alarming rate. They wives go out and get popped. Go out to bars and shit and get popped and come back home to their husband. That's adultery. That shit wicked, man.
Verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Right. So if he forced her, like, let's just say your wife got raped, you can't say, okay, you gonna get put to death because you slept with another man. He raped her. Yeah. It's just him. He just gonna die.
Verse 26.
Because she yelled out. She ain't like it. She wasn't in pleasure, like, oh, this is something they planned to do together. He just took it. That happens. But there's a way to handle it. There's a righteous judgment to make when it comes to that.
Verse 26. But unto the damsel that shall do nothing, there is in damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
Go back that verse.
Verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found.
So this is a single woman, right? Right. So he lay hold on her, right?
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away with all his he may not put her away all his days.
And that's the rape doctrine. That's all that it was, man. Ain't nobody telling you to go out there and rape no woman. We just telling you how the law handles it. Because that's going to happen. It happens a lot, even in this world. So it's a certain way to handle it, right? So what he would have to do is he humbled her, you know, and you know how you humble a woman, you pop her. She submits to you when you pop her, you know. So what he would do is, if he did do something like that, there's a way to handle it. It ain't saying that all Israel, 90% of Israel be getting their wives that way. Right. No, it's just saying for the little few cases where it do happen, this is the judgment that you make. This is what you got to do. So what he have to do, he have to pay the father. You got to pay the father, man.
Why is
because our daughters work for us. Our daughters grow up in the house. You tell your daughter do chores, go do this, go do that. So when he lose a daughter, just like even if she gets a husband, when he lose a daughter, then he don't have that worker no more. So you got to compensate him for his worker. That's how this works, man. Yeah. He got to be compensated. He finna lose his daughter. He might have had her gathering the cattle, feeding them. He ain't got that extra hand no more, so you got to compensate him now. You know what I mean? But he got to compensate him because he did it with force without the father's permission. He didn't do it in order. I'm not saying you always got to have the father's permission, but he is certain order the way you're supposed to do things, man. And he didn't do that, so you know the father going to be mad. He going to be furious. Oh, what the fuck he do? Oh, hell no. So what he would do is he would pay the father. He'd compensate him, right? And now the law says he can't put her away. She could be nagging him. She could be the worst wife ever. He can't put her away. Because he did that, he took it. So now he got to deal with this woman for the rest of his life. He can't say, look, I'm going to put you away, you ain't going to be my wife anymore. He got to keep her as a wife for the rest of his life. So that's his punishment. But she might turn out to be a good wife. But of course, with him taking her to be a wife, he still got husband duties. So he still got to do for her, take care of her, and be a husband, and guide her, and lead her, and teach her.
Verse 30. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt.
That's the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of it. And then, of course, that's adultery. So you're not supposed to deal with your father's woman. You know, a lot of dudes do that. You know, they sit at home under their pops, and their pops got a wife or a girlfriend that's coming over, and they plot looking at her. Oh, she hey, when pops leave, I'ma pop her. You not. That's wicked, bro. That's adultery. You would be put to death for that shit, man.
You said the first 10 verses or the first 10?
First 10. We'll start verse 1. I think we went like the first 10. We went over this one.
Okay. Deuteronomy 25:1. If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, and they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked.
Okay, there's a controversy between men.
Between me and you.
Right, but this happens a lot of Israel. Niggas be beefing with each other, so they had a controversy. This is how they should have handled it. Really, you got to go to the judges, the elders. They got more wisdom and knowledge, and they make a judgment. They don't play the sides. Well, I see how he. No, they make a judgment on who's right or wrong based off righteous judgment, based off the law, statutes, commandments. Keep going.
Verse 2. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face according to his fault by a certain number.
There's a punishment. They ain't gonna kill him, but he gonna be punished because he was in the wrong.
Right. Verse 3. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother shall seem vile unto thee. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when the treadeth out of the corn.
And it breaks down like, and then spiritually, if you have ears to hear, it breaks down like a lot of times there'll be somebody that'll be a witness to it.
Right.
You can't kind of muzzle him, don't say nothing, or we don't want you to say nothing to kind of get your agenda to go. You gotta let them speak. You know, whoever witnessed the situation, he was in the wrong, I seen him do this, do that. Don't say he a snitch. They muzzle the ox today by trying to say like a person is a snitch. You a snitch? No, if he ain't no snitch, bro, because we together as a community, we supposed to be together as a people, as a brotherhood. So if somebody see the situation, they gonna speak on it. That don't make them on a snitch. You just gonna tell what he seen, so we can get down to the bottom of who's wrong and who's right. You know, don't say, oh, well, because he stood up there and the elders asked him what happened, and he say, yeah, I seen him. He did that. He stole off of him first. He threw the first punch. Now you hate this brother. He a snitch. you a snitch, bro. You snitched on me. No, that's not how that shit works. You gotta be like, bro, you did what you're supposed to do, because we had to get down to the bottom of it so we can get this shit, what they say, squashed, so we can get this shit squashed.
Exactly.
You get your punishment, you did what you did. Your punishment going to be there so you don't do it no more. A reminder, look, this can happen to you so you don't do it no more. And then we gonna squash this shit. We gonna get back to brotherly love. That's righteous judgment.
Exactly, because the goal is to settle.
Let's just settle it. Not have shit unsettled.
Verse 25. If brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
They don't know about this law. Ooh.
Her husband.
So your brother died, right? He had a wife. You always used to see her at the gatherings and shit like that. Coming to your mom's house, y'all bumping to each other at your mom's house. You always see his wife, give him a hug. Now he died, but he ain't never had no kid with her. Let's see what happens.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife.
It said the brother was supposed to go into her and pop her. Now people will see that and say, that's wicked.
Yeah.
He was always plotting to get with his brother's wife. He was always looking at her and stuff like that. Why is he gonna go be with his brother's wife after his brother died? He's supposed to, for this reason.
And perform the duty of a husband brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead.
That's why to raise up a seed in his lot, your brother, because he ain't had no seed. He ain't have no inheritance. So the closest seed to his seed is gonna be his brother's seed, because you and your brother got the same seed of your father. Y'all got the same seed in y'all.
Exactly.
So for you to raise up a heritage to him, your seed gotta go into her. But when your seed go into her, now that she's a widow, she can remarry. So that's not adultery, because her husband died, now she can remarry. But he gotta go and pop her, and he gotta be a husband to her. He gotta be a husband, do all the husband duties to her, but he gonna raise up that seed in the lot of his brother. If his brother had like his favorite garment, you gonna get that to the son. Look, you gonna say, look, this your pops.
Yeah, and you gonna name him after him, right?
You gonna name him after him. You gonna do all that. You gonna bring him up in his lot. You gonna say, nah, this your pops. Even though you use the seed, really he came from your seed. But your seed really the same as your brother, so they really don't understand how the seed works, man. The seed is more important than the goddamn egg, man. We need our woman, right, to reproduce, but it's really all about the seed. That's why when you read in the Bible and you read about the bloodline, it's this man begot that man begot this man begot that man. You go through Chronicles and you go through the kings of the lineage of Judah, the lineage of Israel. It's always talking about this man begot that man begot that man, this man begot that man. It's all about the seed.
That his name be not put out of Israel.
That his name. So you gonna name that child after him.
Right.
Or you might give him his own name, but they gonna know that this is such and so child. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So his name be not put out Israel. Keep on.
Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband brother refusing to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel.
You gotta take her, matter of fact. You ain't even got a choice to say, I don't want to take her.
It's law.
You gotta pop her. You gotta do that, man. Keep going.
He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
She gonna go snitch on you to the elders, and this gonna happen.
Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her,
right,
then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and lose his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face.
So if you, let's break it down. If you got a brother in the law in the Bible, if you got a brother, he has a wife, he don't have children with her, he dies, you got to take his wife and raise up children with her, because y'all got the same seed. If you don't do it, then she gonna come untie your shoe in front of all the elders. She gonna humiliate you and do what?
Spit in your face, right? So shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house.
So she gonna loosen your shoe, she gonna call you a bitch ass nigga, and she gonna spit in your face, because you ain't want to take her to be a wife. You gotta take her to be a wife, man. You gotta be on your brother. Hey, find you an attractive woman, man, because this shit go down this way, you know what I mean? I at least want to be attracted to her. Find you a righteous woman too, bro, because I don't want you having no demon and then you die. Now I gotta take this demon to be a wife and deal with her and shit. You know what I mean?
Verse 10. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that hateth his shoe loose. That hath his shoe loose.
So all Israel gonna know you as a bitch ass nigga, pretty much, roughly paraphrasing today. But they all gonna know you as the guy with his shoe loose.
Right.
You gotta keep the law, man. See, everything is interconnected. That's the problem with us right now. We ain't even really a people. Everybody individuals. You see what I'm saying? This interconnects everything. Like, my brother, I gotta take his wife if he died. So now you and your brother, y'all in it together when y'all find a wife. Hey, man, find the right wife, dog. You know how the law say. You know what I mean? That interconnects everything on every level. That makes us a people. That makes us one, a unit. Look at bees in a beehive. They're one unit. They work today. They weak when it's just one bee. You can kill it. Just crush it. But when it's a beehive, the motherfucker's strong.
That motherfucker alone.
Yeah, that's how we supposed to be as a people. We weak when it's just one individual nigga walking down the street. Esau come beat your ass. But if the whole city was down here right now at camp, all the black people, all the Israelites in the city down here at camp, then we too strong for them. They got to call in the National Guard. They still might not win that. They got to cheat and shit and air attack us. But if we follow the Lord, then the Lord will take them off the goddamn here. You see what I'm saying? We got to be a unit. Look at ants. One ant is weak. But a whole hive or whatever of ants, colony of ants, they strong. They build cities and shit under the ground. You know what I mean? So that's how we supposed to be as a herd together. Look at wildebeest. A wildebeest is weak, but when there's a whole thousands of wildebeest out there, then they strong. That's how we gotta be, man. You could stop there and then jump to the next one. What is the it's like Leviticus 20? Yeah. At the top.
Leviticus 20, verse 7. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. And ye shall keep the statutes and do them. I am the Lord which sanctify you. For every one that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He have cursed his father or his mother, his blood is upon him. His blood shall be upon him.
Honor your mother and your father. Keep going.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, and with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Can't commit adultery, man. But what did it say adultery was? If you lay with your neighbor's wife. Right. Not if you got a wife and then there's another single woman and then you go pop her and because that's not adultery. A lot of women will say that that's adultery. They say that's cheating. You cheated on me. That's not adultery. Ain't no such thing as cheating in the Bible. What is adultery in the Bible? If you lay with another man's wife. If he got a wife and you go sleep with her, that's adultery. And her sleeping with you, that make her commit adultery. That's what adultery is. Point blank period. We just read what adultery is. Did it say anything about a man having two wives? No. All right, keep going.
Verse 11. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
You can't lay, and that's not necessarily talking about your mother. You say, well, you can't lay with your mother. No, he might have another wife, because we have multiple wives. His other wife ain't your mother, but you can't go sleep with her, because that's adultery still. Keep going.
Verse 12. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion; their blood shall be upon them.
Because it's still adultery. That's your daughter-in-law is your son's wife. So it's still adultery. Keep going. You can't go pop your daughter-in-law. Niggas be doing shit like this, man.
Good. Verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
That's a touchy situation, with the whole thing. That's, the alphabet boys today. But that's in the law. And then they always try to say, well, y'all just want to get on us. No, we getting on everybody. We just said, look, you can't commit adultery. You can't lay with your father's wife. You can't lay with your daughter-in-law. You can't lay with another man's wife. And you niggas, y'all can't lay together. It's just that simple.
And it goes for the same for the women.
It goes same with the woman. Y'all can't lay together. That's against the law. And it says you abomination is supposed to be put to death. That's complete wickedness.
Verse 14. And if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness.
You can't go pop her and pop her mom, man. This ain't motherfucking Baby Boy. Where dude had the mom and this girl all in one in the house, same household. No, that's wickedness, bro. You can't go do that. Really, her mom's supposed to have a husband, which is supposed to be her father anyway. So it's supposed to be adultery. Keep going.
They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you.
Burnt with fire. Our laws is strict. That's why we not supposed to go against them. It's supposed to keep it. You gotta have strict laws like that when you dealing with niggas, man. Niggas and Latinos. Cause niggas and Latinos are very stiff-necked and hard-headed. If you make lax laws, niggas and Latinos, they gonna find a way out of it. They gonna be slick. Oh, well, didn't necessarily say that. So I'm gonna go and pop her. You know what I mean? I popped her on accident. We had beers. No, this gonna make sure. Oh, I was drunk. What's the woman's excuse when they commit adultery? I was drunk. I ain't know what happened. I was tipsy. It just happened. No, but if you knew that this punishment was behind it, you would make sure your ass didn't get too tipsy to let it happen. That's why they strict.
Verse 15. And if a man lieth with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast.
And we seen that. Remember that those little videos just go around with that girl, and she was getting popped by that horse, and that horse had that big old, and then she was getting popped by, and all the girls was, oh my goodness, man, that shit wicked, and she's supposed to be put to death.
Her and the horse.
Her and the horse had to be put to death. Some girl she was sucking off of, man, I ain't gonna go into all that shit. That shit, and then you know a lot of girls, they be sleeping with their dogs. They be doing that shit, man. This shit really happened. This place is wicked. That's why I call this place the Great Heart, the abomination.
A lot of these single women be having these dogs and shit. I mean, a lot of them do be dog lovers. Not all of them do that shit, but you'll be surprised though.
They be having them cats, letting the cat lick them. They be having the dogs, letting the dog pop them. They be doing that shit. That's wickedness. You got to put the animal to death in her.
Verse 16. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. Thou shalt surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Verse 17.
Yeah, man, but look, this is the law. If you got a problem with what we're saying up here, then you got a problem with the law. If you got a problem with the law, then you got a problem with the Lord. It's that simple. If you say the law is done away with, read Matthew chapter 5. He said, as long as it's the heaven and the earth, Yahweh Shai himself said, the law's still in place. He said, look, Romans chapter 3, starting at verse 31, says, we should establish the law. Do we make void of the law through faith? It's, God forbid, we should establish the law. You know, Romans chapter 7, a man is bound by the law as long as he liveth. You know, the law's still here. There's many precepts that breaks down that the law's still here. You got it coming from Paul. You got it coming from Yahweh Shai. The law is still here. We got to still follow it to this day. You know, I mean, it says in Revelation 20, you'll be judged by your works. Works according to what? To the law. James chapter 2, you got to have works with faith. Works, what is the works talking about? The works go back to the law. Keep going.
Verse 17. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing.
Yeah, you're not supposed to pop her, but you're not supposed to see her nakedness. You're not supposed to be, you know, all up under your sister, seeing your sister butt naked. You know what I mean? You're kind of getting a hard on, because she's still a woman. So even just because she's your sister, just a woman body get you kind of excited. You know what I mean? You can't be doing that shit, man. You got to kind of get out of there.
And they shall be cut off in the sight of their people.
They gonna be cut off, you know? Not necessarily put to death, but they might be cut off.
He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. Verse 18, and if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off among their people.
You can't be popping your woman. They got memes going out where they glorify that shit. She on her period, I don't care. You're not supposed to be popping your wife on her period, man. That's unclean. You know, a lot of shit gets spread that way, and it's just wicked. You're not supposed to pop her on her period. Let it go. Get your horny ass, and that's what you got multiple wives for. If this wife is on her period, then I'm gonna go pop this wife. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of brothers say, man, how can I pop 2 women? That's a lot of sex. No, because this woman might be on her period 1 week out the month, and then you popping this woman. Did she get on her period? Then you popping this woman. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this works, bro. This is, I mean, a lot of people think this is harsh, but this is the law. You follow Esau ways, his shit is harsh. Keep going. You gotta find 1 woman, right? A Christian church. You find 1 woman when you like 18, 19. You get with her, you betroth to her, and then you stay with her for the rest of your life, all the way till you're 80. And you can't never pop another woman out. You can't never look at another woman. Man, the fuck up out of here. We kings. Didn't the Lord say he's gonna make us kings and priests? What do kings do? They have wives and concubines. This shit ain't nothing new. Y'all know this, man. Y'all just don't want to accept it. Keep going. The Lord gonna make y'all accept it. Read Luke chapter 19, starting at verse 27. Matter of fact, let me get it. Keep going.
Leviticus 20 and 19. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor thy father's sister, for he uncovereth his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity. And if
you can't uncover them, but you could, and by the law, you could pop your cousins. That's in the law, because it's telling you who you can't pop. It don't say nothing about your uncle's daughter. You really supposed to, if you really want to get deeper into the law, you supposed to keep the inheritance. Judah, we all cousins, and sometimes, in the way, in the sense of today, we really all cousins, because we got the same bloodline, the same ancestors.
Just your cousin.
Right. Your brother might have a daughter, you got a son, he might give his daughter, you know?
Yeah, because we all 12 tribes.
Yeah. So we all really cousins if you were to look at it. But we all really brothers and sisters too, because we all got the same father, which is the Father in heaven. And our big brother is Yahweh Shai, because he's the first one. This is Luke 19, verse 27. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, how's the Lord gonna reign over you? With the law, statutes, and commandments. But he gonna reign. That's the way of the law of the Lord. Bring hither and slay them before me. So you gonna follow it willingly or not? You know what I mean? Keep going. It's on you.
Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless.
Go to Exodus 20. You can't sleep with your uncle's wife, because it's adultery. That's his wife. Sleeping with another man's wife. It's still adultery. It's wickedness. Yep.
And the Exodus 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So when he said, I am the Lord thy God, who is he the Lord of? The Israelites. He ain't say I'm the Lord of the Egyptians. Yeah, he created them, but he only chose one family out of all the families of the earth, which is Israel. I mean, it tells you that in Amos chapter 3. Keep going, I'll get that.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth.
You can't have that idolatry shit, which they do. Yeah. Amos chapter 3. Hear the word of the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. That's why the punishment come on. It said, you only have I known out of all the families of the earth. Israel. This is Joel 2, verse 27. It says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people should never be ashamed. We're never going to be ashamed to say the Lord is only for the Israelites. He said, I'm the Lord your God and none else. He said, only have I known you out of all the families. So what the fuck? Who is salvation for? It's for Israel. Who is the kingdom to inherit the kingdom? It's for his people, Israel.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
You can't be serving idolatry and shit. They want to bow down to the cross. We hate the cross. Our Lord was killed on the cross. Exactly. If somebody killed your brother with a knife, when you worship that knife, you're going to hate the knife. You know what I mean? Fuck, the Romans had the cross. They was crucifying multiple people on the cross. That was one of their ways of putting people to death. So we supposed to glorify the cross? No, we glorify the Lord, man. We don't, you see what I'm saying? That should be idolatry. Beads and crosses and statues of Mary and the baby Yahushua. Like, come on, man. That's really big in the Latino community because they get that shit from the Vatican City, man, the Pope and them, which are devils, which are Edomites. Keep going.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That's reincarnation. It's going to come back to third or fourth generation because really he's reincarnated. So the father might come back, that same spirit come back in the third or fourth generation, reincarnated, he has his judgment. Then they say judgment was given underneath the sun. What's underneath the sun? On earth. That's where you play out your judgment. You go to the spiritual world, Ecclesiastes 12, verse 7, your body in the dust return to the ground, your soul go back to the spiritual world, the Lord reincarnate you in the third or fourth generation, and then that's when you have the judgment for the things that you did in the past life. That's how this works, man. Keep going.
Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. The Lord thy God will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
And this is the first 10 commandments. You can't take the name in vain, man. And saying that you can call the Lord whatever you want to call him, that's taking the name in vain, man. Saying that the Lord's name is Jesus Christ and all that, you taking the Lord's name in vain, man. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Don't swear up on, you know, a lot of brothers will be swearing up on the Lord all day. I swear to this. No, man, don't take the Lord's name in vain, man. You know, and then a lot of people, they talk shit on the names that we follow, Yahweh Shai. They gonna get judged for that, man. Keep going.
Verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
You gotta keep the Sabbath day. We rehearsing the righteous act. We can't always keep the Sabbath day 100% perfect. No man does. If they telling you they doing it, they a liar. But you gotta keep it in your heart and you gotta try. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta work. Sometimes you gotta do different things, you know? But you gotta remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. You know that it's there and you know that what you need to be doing. Keep going.
Verse 9, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but in the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
7th day you gotta rest. Does that mean that it's the 7th day of America, Esau's calendar? No. It goes by, what's that? Genesis chapter 1. I think the Lord said he gave us lights in the firmament as a sign for times. Let me see if I can get it. So we go off the lunar Sabbath, man. We gotta go off the lunar Sabbath. We're not going off Esau's calendar. This is I gotta get it, man, because this is what Israel be doing, man. Here, verse 14, Genesis 1. And God said, this is the first chapter, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. Sun and moon, right? It says, and let them be for signs. So the lights in the heaven is supposed to be for signs. And what else? And for seasons. So we use the lights in the heavens to decide the season. It says, and for days and for years. So when it says Sabbath day, it's talking about a day. We use the lights in the heaven for the signs of the season and the days and the times. Damn. You see how hard-headed Israel be? They want to follow Esau calendar. No, the Sabbath day is the same day of this week, every week. Sunday or Monday or Saturday. No, bro, it's not. It changes. Because we're following the signs, the lights in the firmament, the lights in the skies, in the heavens, to tell us when sundown is coming, to tell us when the Sabbath day, to tell us when the new moon, when the new month and everything. Come on, bro, that's how you do it. Because when Esau calendar and his system go down, how you gonna know what time it is or what day it is? It's gonna be down. We're not gonna have Esau's calendar in the kingdom of heaven. So how are we gonna be able to look at the days and the signs and shit in the kingdom of heaven? We're not gonna have his calendar, bro. We're not gonna have a Monday, Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep going. Simple shit, man.
But the 7th day is the 7th day of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant,
You can't send somebody to do the work for you. All right, I'm gonna keep the Sabbath, but you gonna do the work. No,
Right.
we all supposed to keep the Sabbath.
Nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in the 6 days of the Lord made heaven and earth, and the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Honor your father and your mother.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Don't be a murderer, and don't glorify like they do today.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So all your rappers that you love that's out here murdering and glorifying, they wicked. We don't fuck with them.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Don't lay with your neighbor's wife. We went through that. Do not steal. You know, everybody plotting, scammers. That shit wicked. You gonna be judged for all that scamming shit. That's stealing.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Don't bear false witness. We went through that and broke that down.
Verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Don't be envying. Oh, he got his house. I want his house. I'm gonna trick him out of his house. You might say, I want a house like yours. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna give you something like that. That's not envying. But wanting his personal items and stuff, keep on.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that in thy neighbor's.
Right, which is adultery, and you just want his stuff. I gotta have your stuff. I
feel
need to
like
get
you're
that.
more deserving of what he got.
Right, I need to get that. You know. Keep on.
And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
And that's it. So, and who was those people? That was Israel. So who was the laws given to? It was given to Israel. You only can be saved. Who's supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts? Israel. You know, we gotta have faith and works. Israel. So who the Lord coming back to save? Israel. Who's going to inherit the kingdom? Israel. It's that simple. So, you know, that's camp. It's righteous judgment. We went through some of the laws. Hopefully it's been edifying to open your eyes up, or even edifying or gave you the spirit to want to go in and learn even more now, because they're very interesting laws, you know. It's very interesting learning about them. So that we're going to say salvation to the elect. We're going to give our praises to
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Kakadas.
double honors to the apostles and the elders. Peace, blessings, honors to our brothers and sisters.
Shalom.